Thank you for staying with us here on THV 11 Plus for Arkansas News Now. I'm Ashley King with meteorologist Simone Thomas. We've been talking about this beautiful weather and just trying to get outdoors to enjoy some sunshine.
I think this is the afternoon we deserve after the fog this morning. Made things a little difficult to get where you need to be, but now look at that view out there. Mainly sunny on this Monday afternoon. Still in the 50s right now, but looking to get a few degrees warmer, at least breaking into the 60s this afternoon. Now, when we look at visible satellite across the state, across the northern half of the state, more of those low-level clouds, if any, that's still very spotty in coverage. That's indicated by that darker gray where they are in the atmosphere, and then farther south where you have that lighter gray, those are some higher level puffier clouds. More of that lingering across places like Camden, El Dorado, and Monticello. But through the afternoon we'll see a mix of clouds and sunshine, with temperatures looking to get into the 60s, some middle and even some upper 60s expected in the state today. We'll talk more about the rest of the week and when that next shades of rain is coming in your 7-day outlook.
Thank you, Simone. A partial government shutdown impacting the Department of Homeland Security has entered a third day with no resolution in sight. Essential workers like TSA agents are now showing up to work without pay, along with more than 50,000 Coast Guard members. And other DHS employees are furloughed. Congress is back in session on February 23rd, giving lawmakers just days to come up with a deal before the first missed paycheck for federal workers in March. Investigators searching for Nancy Guthrie are now reviewing surveillance video from Walmart's in Tucson, Arizona, believing the suspect's backpack, mask, and clothes were all purchased there. Jonathan Vigliotti is in Tucson with the latest.
As the search for Nancy Guthrie enters a third week, Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie had this message late Sunday for her mother's abductor.
It is never too late to do the right thing.
Investigators are now focusing on items they believe the suspect was wearing the night Guthrie was taken on February 1st, including this face mask they believe was purchased at Walmart and this black Ozark trail hiker backpack sold exclusively at the retail giant. Former FBI Special Agent Jason Pack.
But this ultimately could boil down to something as simple as who bought this backpack.
Absolutely. We've been able to track these things back if they've used a credit card or cash.
Meanwhile, the FBI announced Sunday it's entering DNA recovered from a pair of gloves into its database.
What happens next now with these DNA results?
If they're able to match the DNA from inside that residence with the glove they found on the outside, then that's where you got the home run.
As the search goes on, so do a community's prayers. Residents are leaving behind personal messages calling for Guthrie's safe return.
The whole world just wants to know where she is and help find her, because I think that's how much people love the family, the Guthrie family, all over.
And the sheriff tells me that Walmart has handed over purchase records specifically pertaining to that backpack, including names going back several months. We have reached out to Walmart. So far, we have not heard back. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Tucson, Arizona.
And in Jefferson County, authorities are investigating a deadly hit and run in Pine Bluff. Police tell us Oscar Moore was hit and killed Saturday night. The driver involved is believed to have left the scene. If you or anyone you know has any information, you are urged to contact the Pine Bluff Police Department. And happening today, a major pothole problem spot in Pulaski County is finally getting a long-term fix. RDOT is starting a concrete patching project tonight on Interstate 40 between North Hills Boulevard and the I-57 interchange. Crews will replace 17 damaged panels. 2 eastbound lanes will close nightly from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Officials say this will improve safety until a full rebuild comes in a future phase of the 30 crossing project. THV 11 is your election central, and early voting for the primaries starts tomorrow. The congressional race drawing the most attention will be in the middle of the state. THV 11's Tanya Motorzitsky talks to 2 of the challengers hoping to keep Republican French Hill from a 7th term.
From the rising cost of living to the push for new jobs, affordability is shaping the conversation in Arkansas's 2nd Congressional District as 4 candidates compete for a seat in Congress.
Bringing back jobs here, opening up product lines so, that also, our Kansans have degrees. There's just nowhere to go with it. I want you to own your own land. You're part of the American dream. It's made it extremely difficult because we've allowed big box business to come in and buy all of our single family homes.
Democratic candidate Chris Jones says lowering costs for families starts with the policies that support workers while making Arkansas more competitive for employers.
Our delegation is voted in a way that would close rural hospitals. They're supporting things like tariffs, which are taxes, which are killing our farmers. We have 1 in 3 farmers that are at risk of bankruptcy. We know that when we support the Affordable Care Act, that provides health care to millions of people. Second thing I'll give you real quick is SNAP benefits. We know that when folks have access to SNAP benefits, they have food on their table, and it actually brings down poverty.
Republican challenger Chris McDowell, who's trying to unseat incumbent French Hill, says new technologies like AI can drive economic growth.
I'm not going to pump 7 million gallons of water per plant into the atmosphere because I do care about our brothers and sisters over in Georgia and in our sister states over there. And I don't think that it's wise to pump that much water into the atmosphere when they can be submerged and cooled within itself. And you're using just a regular type of a system that you use in your car to keep these servers cool.
Jones argues government must keep a close watch on AI development.
We can have progress and innovation and tech and also do it in a way that directly benefits and helps a large swath of people, the most people. So when I think about things like data centers, the question is, well, what benefit is going to the community?
The race also includes Hill, who emphasized fiscal responsibility and economic growth during his time in office, along with Democratic challenger Zach Hoffman.
And Democrats face an uphill climb in Arkansas's other congressional districts. In the eastern half of the state, the primaries won't be contested. Representative Rick Crawford of Jonesboro will likely face Democrat Dr. Terry Yarborough Green of Paragould in November. And like French Hill, Crawford is hoping Republicans hold their majority to retain his spot as chair of the House Intelligence Committee. There's a similar situation in Northwest Arkansas where Representative Steve Womack won't face a challenge until November. There is one person running unopposed as a Democrat, Rob Ryers, and filed as an independent is Progressive Christopher Hocevar. Womack is seeking his 9th term and sits on the House Appropriations Committee. Democrats in the western and southwestern parts of the state will have to decide who will challenge Republican Bruce Westerman in November. Steve O'Donnell is a Navy veteran and business owner originally from Sevier County. James Russell lost to Chris Jones in the wide-open Democratic primary for governor in 2022. He now hopes to challenge Westerman. You can find all of our Election Central coverage right now on THV11.com as we continue this week getting you prepared to cast your ballots. Still to come on Arkansas News Now, a local flower shop held its opening day on Valentine's Day this weekend, and you don't want to miss the story behind the big day. Plus, an Arkansas kid is riding high in the saddle, and he's only in high school. The story of the Sheridan High cowboy who can't be bucked off the national rodeo podium.
Gorgeous afternoon to spend outside with temperatures climbing to the low and middle 60s. Your 7-day outlook is coming up in 5 minutes.
Welcome back. We hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. And in the spirit of the holiday, dozens of couples took the chance to say I do on the most romantic day of the year at a unique location, the Lehman Library in North Little Rock. They hosted a group wedding Saturday morning where several couples tied the knot or renewed their vows. Congrats to everyone who participated. And there's no shortage of places that you can buy flowers in Central Arkansas, especially for holidays like Valentine's Day. But you may not find any with a story quite like this. THV 11's Carter Thweet shares how one new local flower shop was born from struggle and loss and is now a dream come true.
Gavi Mall in South Little Rock isn't your average mall. With stores in what are essentially storage units, it's a tight-knit community, each unit telling a story.
Welcome to the world of Talking Roses, where a rose is not just a rose anymore.
Owner Debbie Turner is opening her business on Valentine's Day, which is already exciting for a flower shop, but it's what she battled to get here that makes this day extra special, starting with the death of her mother 5 years ago.
My mother was my backbone. Anything I came up with to do, she was right there, supporting me, telling me I can do it.
And then things went from bad to worse.
I came home from work one night, it was a note on the door, you got 3 days to move, the house has been sold. So I was homeless after that.
She spent 8 months sleeping in her car, working 2 jobs, until finally a lady at work took her in to get back on her feet. That allowed her to revisit her lifelong dream of a flower shop, specifically flowers with words or images printed on them. She's gotten help from others at the mall like Tanja Randolph, who owns a beauty store.
To be able to have anything put on a rose, I thought that was very beautiful. And then once I became friends with her and heard her story, it really inspired me more to help her.
They didn't even know me, and they kind of like treated me like I was a sister, a flesh and blood sister.
So Turner was ready for her grand opening today and whatever life as a business owner may bring.
It makes people happy, it makes me happy, it makes me forget about all the ugliness in the world.
In Little Rock, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Hello again, and thanks for sticking around. Through the week ahead, we're going to continue to get a nice spring feel, at least until we get to the weekend. That's when cooler temperatures are on the way, but most of the week is dry. Once we get towards the end of the week, that's when we have our next chance of rain, and then sunshine coming by the end of the weekend. So the whole weekend doesn't look like it'll be a rainy mess. But today, looking to get a good 5 to even 10 degrees above where we should be for this time of year, in the low to middle 60s, back into the 70s tomorrow. Through the rest of the middle part of the week, we have a cool down coming around that Friday into Saturday mark. That's when we'll see our next opportunity for rain. So above average temperatures right now with the dry conditions will make for some great days to get outside and take advantage of the warmer weather. Once we get those chances for rain Friday into Saturday, very spotty to scattered in coverage, and it doesn't look like it'll be as much rain as what we saw for your Valentine's Day. Let's walk through the end of the week. We're going to start at Thursday because a stray shower is possible through Thursday, but much of Thursday leaning dry in the state. Much of Friday morning is dry, as well as Friday evening and overnight into Saturday, where the rain starts to move into the state. And then we can continue to see some showers through your Friday or your Saturday evening, that looks to be out of here by Sunday. We're not going to get as much rain again as we saw with Valentine's Day. For Valentine's Day, we got multiple inches of rain. It does look like at best central Arkansas areas east is teal color, could see between 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch. Some of north central Arkansas into west central Arkansas and areas south with this darker green, that's closer to 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch as that range, and then farther west 1/10 inch to 1/4 inch. So not nearly as much as what we saw last weekend, but any bit of rain we can get will make the difference, because we still have quite a bit of a rainfall deficit where we should be with those seasonal averages. Now the drought monitor you see as that base layer, this is still from last Thursday, which means this doesn't account for the rain we got over the weekend, but the rainfall deficit does account for the rain we got over the weekend. So even with the multiple inches we saw on Saturday, compared to where we should be for the season as a whole, still over 4 inches less rain than where we should have seen. So the rain over the next couple of days will try to help, but likely when this Thursday drought monitor comes out, we won't completely get rid of extreme and exceptional drought, because we're still so far below where we should be with rainfall for this time of year. So something to take a note, what's considered seasonal is that meteorological winter, December, January to February. So we're getting into the end of the season. It's likely before the season ends we won't close that deficit, especially based off of what we're seeing this week. We go the next 4 days mainly dry. Again, a stray shower possible on Thursday, but really won't see good chances for rain until we get to Friday and Saturday. Now ahead of Friday and Saturday, we got a nice stretch of days in the 70s, so make sure you take advantage of that. Even once the cool down comes, lower 60s to start the weekend, upper 50s by the end of the weekend, which is right where we should be for this time of year with mostly sunny skies.
Thank you, Simone. For one Sheridan teen, 8 seconds means everything. Regan Dennis knows that's the difference between falling short and making rodeo history. He's just back from Las Vegas, where he placed 4th in the junior NFR. And as THV 11's Catherine Rowley shows us, he's eyeing a big buckle in his future.
Faith, family, and rodeo are the cornerstones for the Dennis family. The goal for this saddle bronc rider: keep representing Sheridan and Arkansas on the biggest stages in the rodeo world.
It's definitely the longest 8 seconds that I've ever felt.
All it takes is 8 seconds. In saddle bronc riding, the goal is simple: stay on the bucking horse for 8 seconds to win. The clock starts when the rider nods.
It's a fight all the way to the end, and you just try to make it look good and keep hustling and never give up.
Regan Dennis is quickly making a name for himself in the rodeo world. The Sheridan native qualified in 2025 to ride under the lights of Las Vegas at the Junior National Rodeo Finals, finishing 4th overall.
Still a big accomplishment to be able to go out there my first year and place in the top 5. And it was just something that I dreamed of, and it was really a dream come true.
The road to Vegas started in 2024 with a conversation at deer camp, a goal, and a family and a community who never stopped supporting him.
Going to the junior NFR was like his top goal.
In Sheridan, there's a community rooting for the high schooler both at home and afar.
Whenever you're in a place like Vegas, even not just Vegas, but anything else, I've seen Sheridan be there for people in situations that I don't know that there are other communities like that. It's just a good feeling to know that they're behind your child like this.
Regan says those 8 seconds can feel like eternity, but whenever he thinks about giving up, he remembers he's riding not just for himself, but for everyone back home.
I just remember that there's a bunch of people watching and little kids that look up to me, and I just want to keep pushing and keep fighting because I want to be the best.
With his family and the community of Sheridan behind him on every buck and ride, his road to Vegas was built with a strong foundation: faith.
The Lord is the reason he's doing what he's doing. It's not anything that we've done. We just try to support him and go as much as we can. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to work a full-time job and do all the things that we have to do.
And before every ride, the family comes together, heads bowed in prayer.
We always pray before my rides, and something that we make sure we say in every prayer is we give all the glory to God. And you know, that's true. He's out here letting us shine his light every day. And I feel like that's a huge privilege.
Now what's next for the junior? Well, his eyes are on more buckles and one day a career as a professional saddle bronc rider.
You kind of have to know that you're going to go pro to do it, or else you're just wasting time. And so, yes, that is the plan eventually, but you have to be 18 before you can even win your permit. So I'm just kind of trying to stay healthy and keep learning as for now.
The family told me that when Regan was riding in Vegas, there were watch parties all across town to see him place in the top 5. He may be young and his career may be early, but the Sheridan high schooler has already taken both the rodeo world and his hometown by storm. Catherine Rowley, THV 11 News.
Well, it is a beautiful day. We are excited just to get outside and soak up some sunshine. We were just sitting here talking about it.
Yeah, it's a great day after the fog we had this morning. I think we deserve this sunshine. Mostly sunny to partly sunny through the rest of the afternoon. As we get into the 60s, we got some more 70s on the board for the middle part of your week. A few more clouds, though, in the forecast. Rain chances returning Friday night into Saturday. So I think a good chunk of this week remains dry. And it doesn't look like the whole weekend will be rainy. In fact, we'll get to see some sunshine by the end of it.
Yeah, I know we need a little bit of that rain, but I do like the 70-degree temperatures and the sunshine for sure.
Having so much fun with it.
Yeah, it looks great. Well, we hope that you have a great rest of the day. Thanks for joining us on Arkansas News Now. You ready to get some sunshine?
Yes.
Okay, we're about to do that.